Well, so in recent years, IELTS has become a requirement for graduation for many universities, as well as one of a must when you apply for a job or if you want to go abroad. So understand the needs of people, of students, and also workers. English Master has created this workshop for all of us to come here and do a little practice on speaking, because we know that many Vietnamese have a problem when it comes to the speaking section of the IELTS test. And today's workshop will be hosted by our well-known and beloved Mr. Bùi Đức Tiến. He has achieved 8.5 in the overall band score in 2012, and he also one of the most, handsome lecturers of English Department, University of Pedagogy. So please give a big hand.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the big warm welcome. And I like the handsome part. I said it myself.
Yeah.
I know. I'm the only one who knows this man. So hey, before we start, I want you to get to know each other for a while. So I'm going to introduce myself first. So apart from what she has said, I also want to say that I come from Đồng Nai province. Anyone here from Đồng Nai province? You're from Đồng Nai province, Đồng Nai province, Đồng Nai province. Cool. And I live in Ho Chi Minh City. Someone live in Ho Chi Minh City? Everybody, right? Thank you very much. Now, I want to make a code for this team before we start the conversation. Whenever I say hello, you say hi. Does that work for you? You want to try? Okay, hello. Hi. You say hi with emotion. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. That's what I say when I want your attention. Okay. Now let's talk about the content for today's topic. You may want to take a look at this piece of paper that you have in your handout. It says IELTS workshop. We want all the notes that we need. You got that paper yet? Okay. So we'll use this paper throughout this workshop. But don't look at it all the time. Look at me. I'm handsome. Okay, that should be better. Now, today we'll talk about 4 things. First, the speaking assessment criteria. So we're taking the IELTS, right? We need to know what the IELTS asks you to do. If you don't know what the examiner wants, you cannot get a high score. It's like when you are trying to flirt with a girl. You don't know what she wants. If you don't know, then it's impossible. Why should there be 3 parts, right? Why not just 1 part? There must be some differences. So let's talk about how they are different. In part 1, part 2, and part 3. In part 1, what will the examiner ask you about? General information. Not really general information, but things about yourself. And most of the questions has the word you in there. Like, what sport do you play? Right? And what are you studying? And what are some changes to your hometown you want to make? Right? So things that are about you and about your life as well, generally in part 1. And then coming on to part number 2. How many minutes are we allowed to have talking? 2 minutes maximum. But the question is, what do we talk about in part 2? Okay. In part 2, we'll talk about topic. If you open your paper to page number 2, and you look at it here, page 2, right? You look at strategy number 2. Now that is an example, part 2 question. They give you a card in this task card. They want you to talk about a famous person you want to meet. And they tell you, okay, you should say who the person is, what the person does, what you like to say to this person, and explain why you want to meet this person. Alright, that's it. That happens in part 2. You have 1 minute to prepare, take notes, whatever you want. But you cannot ask the examiner. And then maximum 2 minutes to talk. Okay? After 2 minutes, stop. So 2 minutes maximum to talk, 1 minute to take notes. You can look at the notes, but don't look at it all the time. Sometimes look at the notes so that you won't forget what you're talking about. Right. Now, so moving on to part number 3, what do we have? In part 3, questions will be more complicated. It's no longer about you, it's about people in general. For example, let's say, do people in your country care a lot about their health? It's not do you care about your health, but do people in your country care about health? Or what should the government do to protect the environment? What should the government do to protect the environment? Kill Formosa? Something like that? Protect the fish? Save the fish? Something like that. So that's about the IELTs test division. Part 1, 2, and 3. And this one is the most challenging part 3, where you need to give long answers. Talk non-stop. That's right. With ideas flowing out smoothly. That's it. So in order to pass the IELTS, what do we need to do? We need to first know the marking criteria. Okay, this is very important. I want you to take a look at the other page in your handout. The one that is next to it. Marking criteria. You got it right there. Okay, this is the public version. This is from the British Council. Right, this is for public use, it's official. This is the band score description. If you look on your background, you see there is a score 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and at the other base down to 0. Now those are the scores. And in order to get these scores, we need to do what is described in the box. Okay. So tell me how many criteria are there? There are 4 criteria. What are they? So think about criteria, we have 4 criteria. So 25%, 25%, 25%, 25% each. If you master all of these, you get 9. Right? Easy, right? It's a piece of cake. That's it. Now, then what is fluency and coherence? So I want you to look at the description for band number 8. Look at band 8. Of course we need to speak fluently, right? But how fluent will be 8 score? With only occasional repetition. Do you ever repeat yourself? Something like, okay, today I will go to school, something like that. That's called repetition. Don't do that. Just occasional. And then, or self-correction. You say something, then you correct yourself. Oops, I'm sorry. Said the wrong thing. Okay. Hesitation. Can you hesitate? Yes, you can. Of course, everybody hesitates. Right? We cannot speak continuously all the time. We hesitate. But what is that about hesitate? Hesitation is usually content related. What does that mean? That means you can stop for a while to think about your ideas. Right? If you run out of ideas, then hesitation is okay. But hesitation is rarely to search for language. The examiner is very smart. He knows when you are looking for a word, and he knows when you are looking for an idea. So if you hesitate because of your ideas, it's okay, right? But if you hesitate more for language, now that's the problem. Remember, this is a language test, right? It's not an idea test. it's a language test. So language is more important. And next, you're going to develop topics coherently and appropriately. What is meant by coherently anyway? Coherent means it makes sense, it's logical, reasonable. Is what you say logical? Does what you say make sense? I ask you about how to protect the environment, and you talk about education. Okay, now that's not coherent. Or if he asks you, what should the government do to protect the environment? And you talk about, okay, I take the rubbish out every day to protect the environment. That's not coherent. You gotta answer the question. Ask you something, you answer exactly that thing. And also appropriately so. If you want to score 8, remember, less hesitation, less repetition, less correction, and talking on the topic that you are asking about. So what about lexical resources? Good. When we say lexical resource, that means vocabulary. Okay. Read the description for about 8. Finish. Now, what do you have to do with lexical with your vocabulary? And by the way, what is vocabulary? Don't tell me vocabulary is a word, right? Vocabulary is word. It's like school. Collocations. Go to school. Attend school. And idiomatic expressions. So, words and phrases and longer phrases all count as vocabulary. That's right. So that's why they say use a wide vocabulary resource readily and flexibly to convey precise meaning. Did you ever use a word that means the wrong thing? Did you ever say, okay, today I go to the beach, but then for some reason you say, oh, okay, today I went to the beach. Okay, I'm kidding, right? That's pronunciation. So precisely, you gotta use wide range of vocabulary. So tell me anything that comes to your mind when you hear the word environment. What do you think of it? Global warming. Trees. Forest, right? Anything else? Yes? Pollution. Anything else? What are some environmental problems? Global warming. Water pollution. Yeah. Greenhouse gases. What else? Deforestation. Okay. What can you do to protect the environment? What else do you want? Planting more trees. Don't you like trees? Save the fish. Her nickname is Fish, right? That's why she wants to save herself. Okay. That's it. What we need is to use a wide range of vocab to talk about one single topic. Topic is simple, but our vocab needs to be a lot. Plenty. And then, hey, the second dot is very important. Use less common and idiomatic vocabulary skillfully and with occasional inaccuracies. So, what's another way to say I'm happy? I'm over the moon. Ever heard that? I'm on cloud 9. It's like the Vietnamese say. Cloud on sky and 9. And what else? What's another way to say I'm angry? So you can say hit the roof. Ever heard that? You hit the roof, right? Lost your temper. Okay? Or anything else? Well, in a bad mood is something different. Not really for anger, but it is more fun. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is, if everybody says happy, then nobody is different in the test. So we need to say something that is not very common. We need to say something that many people do not say. And then the last one, use paraphrase effectively. Ask me why. What is paraphrase? Say something in another way, right? What's another way to say go to school? Go to class. So I went to school this morning, or I went to class this morning. Okay, that can work. Another way to say go to school. I have a lesson this morning. That can work. What's another verb? I attend school. That can work. Right, let's go paraphrasing. What's another way to say we need to reduce air pollution? Reduce air pollution. Reduce. Paraphrase it. Reduce, another word for reduce. Fish, what do you think?
Minimize.
Minimize, right? Okay. Minimize. Minimize. Or decrease. That could work. What's another word for air pollution? Air contamination. Exactly, right? We need paraphrases. Say things in a different way. Right? But how? You gotta learn. It takes a long time. Okay. And I want you to look at the next one, grammatical resource, the third column, reading description for Math 8. Okay. Now, the first point, use a wide range of structures flexibly. So, don't think about grammar, think about structure. That's more important. If we think about grammar, we will tend to think about, am I correct? Do I make a mistake? We should think about structure. We have different structures to express the same idea. Would you agree? For example, if I say, okay, this is a small room. There's a projector. How can I combine that into one? This is a small room and there's a projector. How do I combine that? You may use a relative clause, right? For example, what would you say? Yeah, this is a small room where or in which there is a small projector. That is a different structure. We can use another structure.
There's a structure in this one.
Exactly, right. A different structure, okay? Or this is a small room with a projector. That's what we're talking about. Different structures for the same meaning. Now that's not the difference in vocab, right? That's the difference in structure. So vocab on one side, structure on the other side. Wide variety. Now, okay, we have to learn. It takes a long time. Lastly, look at pronunciation. Ish. Now, pronunciation. Do we need native-like pronunciation? No. Nobody says you have to sound like an American teacher. Nobody says you gotta sound like a British actor, like Harry Potter. The only thing that says use a wide range of pronunciation features. What are pronunciation features? Stress, intonation, rhythm. Right? When I say, okay, today I go to school and I want to learn English. So that is a lack of intonation. And we need to put the stress on the wrong word, on the right word as well. Something like today I go to school, I want to learn English. Okay. And linking sounds, final sounds, and sometimes the sound disappears when you say, for example, is she a teacher? Right? We don't say is she a teacher. We say is she a teacher. So the sound disappears. Okay, that's a feature of pronunciation. And if you can do that easily, ready for get an 8 for pronunciation. Pronunciation is not too hard. Next, sustain flexible use of features with only occasional lapses. That means you know what you are saying, not a matter of luck. And the last point is easy to understand throughout. That means the Have you ever talked about someone from India speaking English? Can you understand? Sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes very hard. Okay, and that Indian guy will not score very high in the IELTs, I'm sure. What we need to do is that, okay, we may have a Vietnamese accent, but we need to be understandable. Okay, listen to me, still understand. I listen to them, I can't understand. Someone from Thailand. Hello, welcome to this classroom. Yeah, something like that. Right. Today we talk about the IELTs. Well, the accent can work, but if he can understand you, that's okay. L1 accent has minimal effect on intelligibility. What is L1? L1 is your mother tongue, Vietnamese. So your Vietnamese doesn't affect your English pronunciation in a bad way. So do you ever say, what time is it? Can you tell me the time? I don't know what time it is. I'm looking for you to answer something like that. Okay? That's Vietnamese influence. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we need to look at the band score description when you want to practice for the test. So be fluent, coherent, make sense what you say, right? Increase your vocab range, increase your structure, and increase your range of pronunciation. These are the 4 things that we need to do. The one thing that we don't have to do is to try to think of big ideas. Okay, this is not a public speaking contest. You don't have to give big ideas to impress the examiner. No need to. Just keep your ideas simple, but fluent and coherent. Okay? Simple ideas, but very complex language. That's how you get high score for the IELTs. Of course, I don't say that you mustn't have big ideas. If you have big ideas, that's good. But if you cannot, just go with simple ones. I always do simple ideas. I never try to think of anything big. It's hard. Difficult. What would I need to do? I'm not government official. Okay, something like that. Right. Okay, we can say pollution of water resources, right? And we can use the word contamination. So contamination of soil or deterioration of air quality. Right? Those are the things we can say instead of oil, soil pollution, air pollution all the time. And the last question, what can individuals do to protect the environment? Then we can say we can safeguard or conserve the environment or contribute to or facilitate the protection of the environment. Okay. What we have been doing is to try to enhance our language, make it varied. We use a different phrase each time. We don't repeat the question. Okay? That way we can earn a higher score for the IELTs. So how do you feel? You tired now? Yeah, pretty tired, right? I know. I'm tired too. So let's go to the next part. Now sometimes in the IELTs we have to learn how to buy time and how to keep our timing effective. What is meant by buying time? So I'm going to ask you something, right? Do you think alternative medicine is effective? So if we cannot answer immediately, we need to buy time to think. Of course, that happens. It happens all the time with the IELTs. But when we do this, we have to be smart. You can't just keep silent. Silence is going to kill you. Okay. We have to say something, and at the same time we have to think. Right, the IELTS is so challenging. Ask you to talk and think at the same time. So the only thing I want to tell you about buying time is to make it real. Don't give a fake expression. A lot of my students say, that's an interesting question. That's a fantastic question. Oh, that's a difficult question. The problem is, when they say it, they don't show that it's really interesting. They're just saying it because it's the only thing they know to say, to buy the time. And that might be counter-effective. When you say something that add emotion. Ooh, that's an interesting question, man. Wow, this is difficult. This is hard. This is such a difficult question. Why are you asking me this? Okay, the point is add emotion. I look at the phrases. We got a lot of phrases at the end of the sentence, right? Phrases for buying time. And now we're going to learn how to extend your answers and inject more ideas and talk. And I think this is the most important part. We have a problem with ideas all the time. Everybody does. And if the examiner asks you, why do some people prefer to read magazines instead of newspapers? How do you answer? Can you tell the difference between the two? Okay, ideas is a problem sometimes, right? Sometimes the questions are really tough. And so we'll need to get some strategies to help us with the ideas. Look at strategy number 1. Strategy 1 is the most basic type. I don't know, is that the 5W or 6W or 7W or whatever. The point is what, where, when, how, who, why, whatever. That's one way we can use to add more ideas for simple questions like, do you play any sports? Football every day with my girlfriend. In my room. Something like that. Football on a computer. Alright, so what, where, when, how, why, who. Those are the things for part 1 normally. Part 1, simple questions. What, where, when, who, how, why. Okay. So maybe I'm going to ask you some questions and try to answer this. Let's say, do you often go to the zoo? Do you often go to the zoo? Now look at strategy number 2. Strategy number 2 would be nice for part 2. Okay, this is what I often do. Maybe people will disagree with me, but this is what I do for part 2. I try to focus on 2 ideas only. For part 2, there are always 4 things you gotta say. Read the text. Describe a famous person you'd like to meet. You should say who the person is, right? What this person does. What you would like to say to this person. And explain why you'd like to meet him or her. 4 things. And what I have been doing for myself is to focus on only 2. I don't ignore the others, but I talk a little bit. So for example, with this one, what do you think we can focus on? Who the person is? Maybe not who the person is, right? 1 sentence will be enough for who the person is. But I don't know, you can make it longer. It's up to you. I don't know, it's your choice, right? What the person does, can we focus on this? Can we talk more about this? Perhaps. What you would say to the person?
No.
Maybe not, maybe it's just 1 sentence. That's it. And why you want to meet this person? Right, we can talk more about this, we can focus on that. So you choose any 2 points to focus on, but don't ignore the others. And don't forget any of the points mentioned here. Okay? Yeah.
Can we say any other things outside of this
I think we can, because it's you should say it, not you must say. But well, I will just stick to this. This 1 minute is not enough time for us to prepare more ideas, and it will not be beneficial. So let's practice this a while. Now it's important that we have to keep our time from 1 minute to 2 minutes maximum for part 2. But don't go any further than 1 minute 59 will be perfect. Okay? How do you do this? So practice that 1,000 times, and you will know what 2 minutes is like. Okay, I cannot help you with this timing. You gotta help yourself. Just take out a clock, set 2 minutes, start talking. Practice 1,000 times, so you will be able to do 2 minute talk. But should we talk in 1 minute? Okay. Now the big question is, it's like when you first meet someone. Do you think it takes a long time to get to know a person, to understand a person? When a boy approaches you and wants to be your boyfriend, how much time does it take for you to get to know him?
7 seconds.
Really?
In a fraction of a second.
In a fraction of a second? Good. When you meet some new friends, how much time does it take you to know the person? Now I don't know, but sometimes it will be a very long time. And the same thing happens in this test. The examiner cannot give you a good score if you do not show off everything you have. 1 minute will not be enough for good judgment. Right? It would be advisable to keep talking in 2 minutes, because the more you say, the more evidence of your language the examiner can get. Right? I know a lot of things, I know a lot of words, but then I'm only speaking for 1 minute. It's not enough for me to show off my skill. The point is you gotta show off what you have and just keep talking. For part 2, 2 minutes maximum. But if for part 1 and part 3, okay, I would suggest just keep talking. Just say, keep saying. It would be nice. The more language you show, the better it is for your score. Now, next strategy. Strategy number 3, 4, and 5 would be very good for part 3, where we have difficult questions. For example, strategy number 3, okay, this everybody knows this. We answer and then explain and give example. Okay. Easy one. Answer, explain, example. Don't forget example. Sometimes explanation is difficult. Example will be easy. For me, example is the easiest thing in the world. Explanation might be hard, but I can give examples better. So it's up to you, right? I'm not sure if that's the same to you. Strategy 4, use other people's ideas. So the examiner asks you about yourself, but you can also use another person's idea to use as a background for your answer. Look at this. Look at the sample one. Question, which do you think is better, a novel or a movie? And read the sample answer. Some people think that novels are a good way to relax. I am not sure about this. Finish that? So we see, other people's idea normally comes first. When you use other people's idea, hey, it's your idea basically, but you pretend that other people say this, other people think this way, other people believe that, or it is said that, and then you give a comment on that idea. So other people think Mr. Tim is handsome. And make a comment, right? I'm not sure about this. In my opinion.
Other people say that this baby is very tall.
Oh, I always said that. Right, then you make a comment. After the comment, you give your opinion. That's it. So other people say that Mr. Tim is handsome. I'm not sure about that. In my opinion, he's really handsome. Cool. Other people say your comment and then your answer. Like 3 steps. So that helps you to make your answer longer. The last strategy would be using comparison. In many IELTS questions, you gotta compare things. And when we compare, we need to use comparison phrases. Comparison phrases are a lot. For example, we have on the one hand and then on the other hand. We have whereas, while, by contrast, by comparison. On the contrary, something like that. When we compare, always remember to use those phrases. So for example, what do you think is more important, money or job satisfaction? Nice. So I think it's necessary to take a look at both aspects. On the one hand, blah blah blah. However, blah blah blah. On the other hand, blah blah. That's one way for us to make a comparison and set our answers. Do you know why? If he asks you what do you think is more important, money or job satisfaction? And you answer like this. In my opinion, money is more important because that will. Yeah, it's okay if you can give a long answer, right? And you can mention job satisfaction at the same time. But for this kind of question, when there are 2 things in the question, money, job satisfaction, money, love, right? It's the tiên or money. Of course, you gotta compare. Should make a comparison. That's better.
Yeah. I think the mango was really good. Yeah, a lot. And now we have a special guest coming here to our workshop today to add a little delight to our night. So please, a round of applause for our singer, Miss Miami.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Man. I'm not a singer as well. I'm just like a student. I'm a Untitled student. I'm also a student in University, and at the same time I work for the Voice of Vietnam, like a radio broadcaster as an MC. And I am so happy that I be here and join you guys. And I want. You say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking out loud.
Your
So your hand is only with my weight, right? That's it. Okay, thank you.
How about your age?
Huh?
How about your age?
My age?
Your age.
Okay, I don't want to talk about my age. That's dangerous thing, right? Okay, let's say, what's another way to say I like Mr. Tien? How do I say it?
I'm really into Mr. Tiến.
Okay. Wow. Is that acceptable?
Into has a lot.
Into has a long meaning, but anyway, give you the prize. Thank you very much. Right? Thank you. Seriously, don't say I'm into you, right? That's a little dangerous. Okay, so thank you very much. Do you have anything else to say to them?
No, I think except for thank you, all of you, for being here tonight. And we're really looking forward to your attendance in our next workshop, probably about writing. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much. And before you leave, could you please help me fill out a little feedback form? I need to know how things work today. Just 1 or 2 minutes.